how you doing?
Hey man, how are you? Good to see you again.
Yeah. How are your martinis?
Delicious.
Usually when it comes to movies that contain a lot of comedy, there's like a lot of writers attached. Like you wrote this by yourself.
Yeah.
Comedy writing's probably not easy, but it was so natural for you. Your dialogue's so authentic, and
thanks.
the situations feel so real. How was that process like of doing it by yourself?
You know, it was probably the hardest part, writing the script alone. Because when you're alone, you're sort of faced with these voices of self-doubt, which I think is the hardest part of any creative process, is getting started. You know, that's sort of the root of hit record. When I was, years ago, it started before it was a website or before it was a collaborative production company or anything. It was just something I would say to myself to get started. It's the hardest part. Right. Because you have these voices in your head saying, oh, you don't need to do that. There's a lot of other people that could do that, probably better than you. You should probably just give up now, And I've faced those voices like anybody else. But I remember the first time I had a finished draft of the script, I sent it to Ryan Johnson first. So that's the guy that wrote and directed Looper and The Brick. And when he wrote me back and said, I think you really have something here, I think this is good, those voices kind of beat it. And I really resolved, okay, I'm going to finish this movie, I'm going to do it.
As a writer, how was it hearing other actors recite your dialogue? Was it distracting for you when you were in scenes with them?
Oh man, no, just the opposite. I mean, I'm fortunate enough to have gotten some stellar actors to act in Don John, but they made the character so much better than what I wrote. I was recently looking at the script, and we didn't deviate all that much, but so much life and texture and nuance that those actors bring to it that's not there on the page. So it's just a pleasure. It's literally kind of a dream come true. If you can hear right now, they're chanting Tony's name, which makes me very happy that that's happening.
So you worked with Joe 20 years ago. How was it watching him grow up to be this multi-talented individual?
Well, even, don't get me wrong, he's just a kid in Angels. He's 12 years old. But he was terrific in that movie. I mean, he, full range of emotions. He had to carry that movie. It's not easy for a 12-year-old. So I never had any doubt. But I think, writing this and directing it and also acting in it, I think that's a tremendous feat. The only thing I can judge it on is I directed a 28-minute short. And I acted in it, and I love the short. I hate myself in it because I know I'm watching everybody else, and somehow he was able to enjoy himself and be the actor when he was the actor and the director when he was the director, and the product is, the proof is in the pudding, as they say. So.
As a father, did you bring any experiences to the table to play Joe's father?
Oh, sure, yeah, sure. I brought a lot of my bad habits as a father, No, I have a paternal thing for Joe anyway. Because having known him since he was 12, I do have that thing. I root for him. And by the way, as much as I'm thrilled to be part of this, I'm really happy for the kid. I really think this is something he's always wanted to do, and to have this kind of a reception on the first time you try it. You're not only you're directing, you're acting, but you're writing. It's an incredible feat. Incredible. So,
how is it being directed by Joe?
Pretty cool. I mean, it's cool and strange when you have your lead actor who's also the writer and director of it. So the first day I felt pretty intimidated and felt like I didn't know if he was acting with me or if he was watching me as an intimate director, just staring at me going is she going to do this right? But once I was able to realize that kind of the beauty of being the director, you hope, is that they have ultimate say and that they pick the people that they want and that you're supposed to be exactly where you are. So once I was able to kind of grab that philosophy, it became a very, very exciting and interesting experience. I feel so proud of him, and any filmmaker's first film is, I feel always an exciting one to be part of, and to be part of his, who has such a deep and smart knowledge of this industry. It was a really, I felt very lucky to be able to go on this journey with him.
And your character is relatively quiet, but she's constantly texting.
I don't speak.
You don't speak. What's your opinion about everybody being loosely connected and living in this age of technology?
Well, I mean, it's certainly something that we're dealing with right now, and I'm interested to see if that's something that we go further with, or if we just hit a point, a breaking point where we go, I can't do this anymore. It's an interesting thing because it gives us so much ease, and also at the same time stops us from expressing so much. And I've been even here at this festival, I feel like everybody's trying to meet up with one another, but then we're also here at the same time, and so there's this constant battle of being in this virtual thing and then being here. That is a tough thing to navigate, and something that we as just this new generation are going to have to figure out. But I personally would love to not have a phone for a little bit. I don't know if that's possible. I don't know if you can in a time like this, but it's certainly something to explore, and hopefully this film kind of brings up some questions about that at least we can question it.
Right.